So the first point is introduction. So ethics in business is crucial for maintaining trust, credibility, and sustainable growth. Samsung, as a global technology leader, prioritizes ethics and has a code of conduct to ensure responsible business practices, fostering a strong reputation and a long-term value stakeholders. And the second is objective. Reporting cases of some Samsung patient infringement serves to emphasize the significance of ethical conduct in the patient systems. The ultimate of reporting on these cases is to foster a culture of innovation and ethical conduct in the business world. The first is overview. Samsung is a multinational electronics company known for innovation and responsible business practices. And there's a mission statement. The mission is to providing innovative and reliable products and services to enhance customer lives. And there's history. So Samsung is founded in 1938 as a small export business in Korea. It has diversified into consumers electronics, semiconductors, and more. And the product or the services is they offers diverse range of innovative products and services, including smartphones, televisions, home appliance, and memory chips, catering to global consumer needs. And the client is they achieve global success and permanence as one of the leading electronic companies, owing to a large and loyal customer base. And then there's a commitment to ethics, committed to upholding ethical standards through a comprehensive code of conduct, emphasizing responsible business practices, environmental stewardship, social responsibility, through a comprehensive code of conduct, emphasizing responsible business practices, environmental stewardship, social responsibility, and transparency. And their future goal is prioritize developing new and customer-centric products while actively contributing to building a sustainable society. Shareholder theory is a concept in business ethics that suggests that the primary objective of a corporation is to maximize shareholder value.
2.2 Ethics of Principle and Rights. Integrity. Samsung emphasized the importance of honesty, transparency, and ethical behavior in all aspects of its operations. Responsibility. Samsung acknowledges its responsibility as a corporate citizen and aims to make a positive impact on society. Innovation. Samsung places a strong emphasis on innovation, constantly seeking new technologies, products, and services that can enhance people's lives. Collaboration. Actively seeks to work with various stakeholders, including suppliers, customers, and local communities. Customer focus. Samsung is dedicated to providing high-quality products and services that meet the needs and expectations of its customers. 2.3 Utilitarianism. Accessibility and affordability. Samsung aims to make its products and technologies accessible and affordable. Innovation and advancement. Samsung strives to enhance the overall well-being and satisfaction of its customers. 2.4 Virtue Ethic. Corporate culture. Samsung emphasized the importance of a positive corporate culture. Employee development. Samsung providing opportunities for personal and professional growth. Social responsibility. A commitment to making a positive impact on society. Ethical governance. Establishing trust with stakeholders and maintaining ethical standards. 2.5 Corporate social responsibility. Samsung places a strong emphasis on corporate social responsibility and has implemented various initiatives and practices to fulfill its commitment to society and the environment. Environmental sustainability. Samsung is dedicated to minimizing its environmental impact and promoting sustainability. Social contribution. Samsung actively contributes to social causes and community development. Ethical supply chain. Samsung is committed to maintaining high ethical standards throughout its supply chain. Diversity and inclusion. Samsung promotes diversity and inclusion in its workforce and business practices.
Business ethics case 1 determine the facts. Apple stole the iPhone's design elements, the black screen of the iPhone which has rounded edges and a bezel around it, and the rows of vibrant icons that are visible on the device are the subject of the 3 design patents in contention in this case. The later trial was centered on the size of the fine that Samsung was required to pay to Apple for violating patents related to the iPhone design. Moral from the case: companies should prioritize creativity, innovation, and the development of original products instead of unethically imitating competitors. By imitating the iPhone highlights the importance of innovation, intellectual property rights protection, legal compliance, healthy competition, and peaceful resolution. Philosophy of ethic evaluation. It is important to note that the ethical evaluation of the company's action can vary depending on the perspective of the business theory used. Two common perspectives that can be applied in this context are the shareholder theory and the ethics of principle and right theory. Shareholder theory. In this context, Samsung's actions of copying the iPhone may be considered unethical, such as it violates intellectual property rights and attempts to benefit from Apple's innovation. Second, in the context of the ethics of principle and right theory, the ethical evaluation will involve considerations of the moral principles underlying those actions. In this case, some relevant ethical considerations are principle of honesty. The principle of honesty views that the company should act truthfully and not deceive consumers or competitors. Principle of justice. The principle of justice emphasizes fair and equal treatment of all parties involved. Principle of intellectual property rights. The principle of intellectual property rights asserts the protection of copyrights, patents, and trademarks. Apple, as the holder of intellectual property rights, seeks to protect their innovation, receive recognition, and obtain fair compensation. Samsung aims to defend themselves, protect their reputation, and ensure the sustainability of their business. Consumers have the right to honest information, innovative products, and fair choices when purchasing Samsung and Apple products. Competitors. Plagiarism undermines the fair competition and gives unfair advantages. Technology industry. Plagiarism practices can erode consumer trust in the industry as a whole and hinder innovation and technological advancement. Society. Plagiarism impacts society by jeopardizing industry sustainability, job opportunities, fair competition, and consumer trust. An agreement between the parties is reached through a bargaining process during mediation with the mediator's assistance, recognizing that a third party, the conciliator, who is supposed to be able to support the parties in their efforts to resolve the conflicts, is involved. Samsung and Apple can work together on cooperative research and development projects, particularly in fields where their respective capabilities complement one another.
4.315 comparing and weigh the alternatives for utilitarianism for the stakeholders. Firstly, we would have Samsung and potentially avoiding damages for design patent infringement and clarifying the scope of multi-component devices. The second stakeholder being Apple, because Apple successfully sued Samsung for infringing upon its technological and design patents. The third stakeholder being the investors, because the patent system allows investors to capture more of the social value of their discoveries. With the alternative strategy options being the first alternative stakeholder being society, because society could benefit from improved labor practices and social responsibility by companies like Samsung. The second stakeholder being patent holders, because they have an exclusive right over their invention, which allows them to prevent others from using, making, or selling their inventions without their permission. The third stakeholder being competitors, because the competitors as stakeholders in the patent system benefit from 4.32 with Business Ethics Case 2, it goes, in one of the cases of Samsung CSR projects, such as the Samsung Gives Charity Gala, with the amount of money gathered by Samsung, it proves that Samsung's morality lies in the right place in their dedication for a better CSR image of the company and how much they prioritize charity and giving back to the people that make the corporation possible. And for 3.21, determining the facts, Samsung corporate social responsibility approaches focuses on developing future innovators for a better society through education. These programs and activities round out the information of the technology firm's corporate citizenship efforts, which addresses sustainability, the environment, communal development, and also concerns about human development as well.
Okay, the next one is identify the ethical issue involved. The first one is moral from the case. Companies should prioritize creativity, innovation, and the development of original products instead of unethically imitating competitors. By imitating the iPhone highlights the importance of innovation, intellectual property rights protection, legal compliance, healthy competition, and peaceful resolution. Next is philosophy of ethics evaluation. It is important to note that the ethical evaluation of the company's action can vary depending on the perspective of the business theorist. Two common perspectives that can be applied in this context are the shareholder theory and the ethics of principle and rights theory. Next one is identify the stakeholders. First, Apple. Apple, as the holder of intellectual property rights, seeks to protect their innovation, receive recognition, and obtain fair compensations.
After I compare and weigh the alternative utilitarianism, by focusing on fair labor practices, employee well-being, responsible sourcing, customer satisfaction, transparent governance, community engagement, and environmental sustainability, Samsung generates overall happiness and utility for society, aligning with utilitarian principles. And then we have make a decision. To defend minority rights, Samsung might take a more strict stance on supplier management, which is consistent with utilitarianism philosophy. As a result of these tactics, stakeholders may also be pleased because the corporation won't have to spend as much money, which suggests that Samsung should introduce change to its CSR framework. The case raises important question about the morality of using legal loopholes to gain a competitive advantage. Many companies resort to such tactics in order to protect their market share and increase profits. But such practices can harm industry as a whole and undermine the principle of fair competition. In today's globalized economy, companies must prioritize ethical and sustainable business practices to create a more equitable and prosperous industry for all. A CSR, or corporate social responsibility strategy that prioritizes the interests of all, can help companies build trust and strengthen their reputation. Thank you.